in the Montagen pub Friday night for my regular beer with my mates. Join me and hoist a pint. We're about an hour's drive south of Meriden, maybe 40-50 kilometers, and I love the wheat belt. I love the vast open spaces without trees and the golden cover of crops of wheat. We also raise hay on the farm to feed cattle and sheep. Cattle is a big industry. The area opened in the 1890s with the coming of the railway to service the Kalgoorlie Gold Rush with the finding of gold. The pipeline completed in 1902 was a momentous event and is still used today. My grandfather served in Gallipoli, unfortunately escaped injury in the First World War. When he came back from the war, he was given a grant of land near Montagen, which was given to many war veterans. This was the beginning of the family farm. He cleared the land laboriously, using frequent flyers to burn down the larger trees. Once the land was cleared, he established his fence posts to fence in cattle and sheep and to establish his boundaries. Then came the plowing of the land, using horse and a single plow. Laborious work and very slow. The soil at that time was not that good. It didn't become better until the addition of trace minerals during the 1950s. But in spite of that, my grandfather raised wheat, bagged and birthed bags, and shipped on the railway from the Montagen area. My grandfather was one of the pioneers with the use of mechanized equipment, even if it was horse-drawn. Shearing was another important income source for my granddad. Some of these hay wagons can still be seen in the paddock. In fact, you can trace the whole history of the farm with its gradual growth and mechanization in the ruins of the farm scrap heap. My granddad was a visionary and looked forward to a great future, but times were tough. He encountered severe periods of drought that drove many of his fellow farmers off the land. A hot, burning, unrelenting sun, and no rain. No rain for months on end, and periods of drought and blowing dust, when no crops could survive. Many farmers left the land. They abandoned their farms, but my grandfather remained. My father took over the farm and commenced clearing further land. He added many acres to the farm and introduced much larger mechanized self-propelled equipment and even a car for the country mud bog roads. He was one of the first farmers in the area to bring in tractors. He could plow in a week, but it took a year for my granddad. The use of mechanization meant a great decline in the need for hired help and a huge increase in the amount of wheat that was produced. Meriden and Kwinana. And the bags went out, bag after bag, on the railway. I took over the farm from my dad and inherited new problems. Salinity, the accumulation of salt in the soil as a result of clearing the forests. And I got all the old problems as well. Drought, locusts, frost, wheat rust. There are many ways that a wheat crop can be reduced in the central wheat belt. The need for new mechanized equipment led to increased farming costs.
About 4,000 hectares, that was around about 3 to 6 inches arable. The rest is sort of like rock and shade, tree lines and all the rest of it. Generally sort of have a mixed enterprise of sheep and wheat. Costs, fertiliser, chemical, fuel have all gone up. Wheat has dropped by sort of like 50%. It's probably about the drive. We got our latest opening break, which is on the 24th of June. Rob and I decided to cut our cropping program right back, which turned out to be a good move. The year before was, even though the rainfall was sort of like slightly below, it was only the one frost on the 22nd of September. They're absolutely, took out most of the wheat lot. So we weren't the only ones affected, but the combination of sort of like losing sort of like roughly half the yield of the frost, followed up by a year, which was extremely dry, and even though it got earlier rain, there was just no finishing rains, and one day in September it got to like 40 degrees, which just cooked a lot of the crops. Lack of rain, someone the other day from Narrabeen, he said, everyone through there, a huge gamble, but as long as you it is getting dry. You look at long-term graphs and records, which since 1890s and all the rest of it. It's just a continual. You get the highs and lows throughout the time, and at this stage we're a bit of a valley. So that's about it. But things will turn around. It is a business. It's also a good life. And this is what we like to do. So we'll continue to do. 12, 18 months ago, there was a lot of people selling sheep, just quitting their whole flocks after years of building it up to go so-called grain farming, and they're the ones now that love and won't admit it, but they're the ones that are having trouble now.
One of the biggest problems with farming is that we all need to buy our own farming equipment. We can't afford to rent because everyone needs the planting equipment and the harvesters at the same time. And a harvester can cost up to $500,000 quite easily. I do my farming with one hired hand and myself. We operate the entire farm. We not only harvest the crops, but we do chemical analytical samples and truck it to Meriden for shipping to Perth. It's amazing watching the wheat bins fill with wheat during a good harvest, but during bad years, they are empty. I lost my eldest son due to gallows gnawing the insulation of wiring to a silo. I still haven't really got over the loss. Still, life has been very good. With good years, we make enormous amounts of money, I play golf every Friday at the Metejan Golf Course, as well as visit the pub on the 19th hole. We own a cottage in Preston Beach on the ocean, and our children enjoy the sand beach for a few weeks every summer. Farming is a way of life that I wouldn't abandon. It's my way of life, and I do nothing else. It's a great life. Thanks for joining me.